Welcome back. You know what's looking good besides you?
Oh.
The snowpack.
It is beefy.
Yeah.
It is tremendous. It is the subject of tonight's Forecast Focus because the numbers keep increasing, and typically, right this time of year, we start to see these percentages slip down, but we are continuing to pile up the snow in the mountains. And again, these are very important numbers because this is money in the bank to get us through the dry season. Recreation, irrigation, and other things that we need the water for, hydropower. The percentages here are the snow water equivalent, not just the depth of the snow, but the amount of water stored in the snow. And these are percentages of average. And again, they just keep increasing. The northern panhandle, 141% of average. The Spokane River Basin, 135% of average. You can count on some amazing falls through the spring. 151% of average in the upper Columbia River Basin. Again, we're just above average across the entire region. Now, this is kind of the good news about this very slow start to spring. Is pretty much the last thing that we need right now is a big jump into the 80s for a week, because melting this snow rapidly would most certainly result in problems with flooding. So if we could just kind of continue to take one step forward at a time as we get into the warm season, that would be very good news. I will definitely be keeping a close eye on the snowpack and the runoff as we begin to melt. In the meantime, we're going to keep adding to our snowpack over the next 12 hours or so. A winter weather advisory goes into effect at 7 o'clock tonight, continues until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, above 4,000 feet for the central panhandle, up to 6 inches of snow there, up to 5 inches of snow above 4,000 feet on the east slopes of the Cascades. Here's a look at our Doppler radar. Looks like things are drying out, but we do have more rain coming in overnight. And because we have very cold air aloft, some snow making its way all the way down into the valleys. Minor accumulations in the northern valleys, but only briefly. You may see things sticking to the snow, or excuse me, to the grass, but that will not last long as we warm up. Not quite average, but into the 40s and 50s. Here's a look at our computer model forecast, starting off at our current time, with the rain redeveloping overnight around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but turning to snow in many locations from North Idaho down to the central panhandle and even portions of the Idaho Palouse. Then, that's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, we dry out across the region. And once we do dry out, it looks like we're going to be staying dry for a while. Cold upper level low over the region, snow flying throughout the Intermountain West. We also have snow flying throughout the Great Lakes, and look how far south, Tennessee, Kentucky. We have snow flying today. Heavy rain, as you saw earlier, in the Northeast. And remember last week I put up this map and there were all these 80s all the way up to Chicago. Now look, 34 in Chicago, 44 today in Nashville. It's 53 in Atlanta, and now we find the warm weather through most of the West. It just hasn't made its way this far. We keep missing out on the warmth. But as I mentioned, we don't necessarily want it that warm. Will you settle for 60 degrees on Thursday, 62 on Friday with some sunshine? After tomorrow, our weather really starts to settle down, and we possibly may need to introduce the possibility of showers on Saturday. But right now, my thought is it is going to be dry this weekend.
Well, take it.
Yes.
I'd like to get out there and get some stuff done in the yard.
I know. Well, I think here is your opportunity after tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. And